Today we are going to learn how to read rhythms. So I'm going to turn the camera around. It's going to be a little bit different, and I'm just going to write and explain to you, and we're going to get into it. Okay, so see you on the other side. First, we should see some rhythms. So this is Charlie Wilcoxon Modern Rudimental Swing Solos book. It's a great book. We have notes here, right? What are these notes? Well, this is a quarter note. This is called an eighth note. These are called 16th notes. We have different names for different notes, okay? And they look different. They kind of look like this. I'm sure you've seen sheet music before, and that's probably why you're here, because you're like, what is this and how do we use this? Rhythm notation is used to notate music in time, right? So what you need to understand first is that time keeps going, right? I started explaining it, and then I started drawing something, and I came up with a better way. So here we are. Here's time. Time is moving. We already said that. Let's draw time first. And because we are basic, we're just going to start in 4/4 time, right? Which is the most common time. This is what 4/4 time looks like. 4/4, 4/4, right? We can get more into time signatures later, but this is what I mean when I say 4/4 time, okay? 4/4. It means that there's 4 things, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are our 4 things, okay? And we count music in measures, so this is one measure of 4 things because it says 4/4. These are spaces where you can put things. So this is a measure of music equal to this measure of music. This is a measure of music, okay? And you have 4 spaces to put things in. And these 4 spaces are measured in this instance in quarter notes. These are quarter notes. The space is measured in quarter notes. You have 4 quarter notes of space to use per measure, okay? That's kind of starting to explain to you what 4/4 means, okay? It's this space, and you measure the space in quarter note. We have 4 things of space, right? We're just gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Those are the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For now, these spaces are still empty, so I'm gonna stop counting and I'm just gonna tap. Okay? What happens if we fill up space 1? So I'm just gonna shade in space 1. So we filled in space 1, we put something there. So now I'm going to say ta on beat 1 because there's something there, it's filled up. And the rest of these spaces, I'm going to just tap with the pen, okay? So ta, 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 ta. Okay, makes sense? What happens if we fill up this space, which is space number 3 or beat 3? Let's see. Ta, 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 ta. Okay? What happens if we fill up second space? This happens. Ta, 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 ta. And fill up the last space. This happens. Ta, 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 ta. okay? That's it. And what we just did was this. Ta, 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 ta. You see these notes at the bottom? These are quarter notes, 4 quarter notes in 4/4 time. Ta, 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 okay? Same thing. Ta, 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 ta. Now, what if we have 8th notes there, right? So we have the same amount of space. So let's draw the same amount of space. This is our space, okay? This is how I want you to think about it, because it's way easier to think about it this way. And then we first divide the space of one measure. This is one measure, and we first divide the one piece of space into 4 separate spaces, which gives us 4 beats, okay? That's how we think about space in music in this context. 1, 2, 3, 4. We divide this measure into 4 parts, okay? These are the 4 parts. We have 4 spaces. And you saw what happens when we shade that space and we make it audible, okay? If we shade it and then we say ta on the shaded space, we get quarter notes, okay? What happens if we, because this is just space, right? And we can divide space just like we can divide up our schedule throughout the day into whatever blocks of time you want. You can divide this time up into whatever blocks you want, okay? So what if we divide it like this? We divide each part into its half, right? So first we had 4 parts, and now we have 8 parts, okay? It's getting tricky, some math, okay? So all of you that are not friends with math, start thinking, okay? What happens if we just tap this? What happens is, first let's tap the 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? What happens if we tap all of these pieces of space out? This happens. Okay, one more time. So I'm snapping on the quarter notes, which is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm sure you've seen videos of like a bouncing ball or something to show you the beats. This is kind of the same thing, same idea. What happens if we shade this part? This happens. For these smaller pieces of time, we're going to say T, because this is ta. This bigger piece of time is ta. This smaller piece of time is T, okay? So I'm going to snap quarter notes again. These are quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. T. T. Okay? Because I wasn't really sustaining the quarter notes before, you can't really hear the difference. So let's do a more true to rhythmic length version, okay, so of the quarter notes. Ta, 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 okay? And now we have T, T. Okay, so T is shorter, and actually it's half as short. What if we shade this part in? What happens? So this is still on the first half of beat 1, the first half of beat 3. So technically it's still 1 and 3. It's just shorter, okay? So let me do the first one. Ta, 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 ta. Let me do the second one. T, 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 T. Okay? What happens if we shade this? Okay, now it gets tricky because the the fourth beat actually is here, right? And this is the second half of the fourth beat. So how does this sound? Sounds like this. This is our tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. T, 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 T. Okay, let's count. 1, 3, and 1. So 4 and 1. Make sense? Then, what if we shade end of 2? When I say end of 2, I mean the second half of beat 2. See how we divided beat 2 into 2 halves? So this is the second half of beat 2. All right, so this is how it goes. T, 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 T. If we count, 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1. Cool? And so on and so on. If we shade this in, you just have to see how it lines up, okay? Let's do another part. The next part, again, we have the same amount of time, but now we can divide our time up even further. This was our original division, 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Then we divided it into 8 spaces, okay? And now we're going to divide each piece further. So we're going to divide it like this. Da, 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 da. Okay, so now we have 16 pieces. Here we have 4 pieces of space, 8 pieces of space, 16 pieces of space, okay? Now we're gonna count, this is a bit silly, but this is from like the Kodali method, the way that they teach kids rhythm. So tika tika is the syllable. So it would be tika tika, right? So tika tika is this part, just these 4 notes. So ta 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 ta, ti, ti ti ti, okay? And then here we would go like this. I'm gonna snap the quarter note, right? And I'm going to tap this part. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, obviously I can't tap like each square, but you understand the point. It's like 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, that's how we count 16th notes. These are 16th notes. And I forgot to mention, so let's come back here. So if these are quarter notes, we said if we divide the space of one measure into 4, we have these quarter notes, okay? Then if we divide the measure into this, into 8 notes, we get 8th notes, and they look like this, okay? So you have 8th notes up here. See this? The beam. These 2 are 8th notes, okay? These are 8th notes. So for example, here, this would be 4 and. So here it would be 4 and. Make sense? Then if we divide it further, we get 16th notes, and they look like this, okay? So now what you notice is first we had 1 bar connecting the notes for 8th notes, and now we have 2 bars up here connecting the notes for 16th notes. And basically 1 E and a, okay? That's how we count. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a. Or the Kodali method is tika 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 tika. Okay? Tika 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 tika. This, you're going to be confused. This is 2/4, so don't worry about that. And 2/4 just means that there's we are using a space of 2 notes here instead of 4. Okay, so now we have less time. 2, like this. Okay, so 2 notes per measure, or 2 spaces per measure. That's what we're dealing with here when we see 2, 4. So 1E enda, 2E enda, that's it. That measure is over. Like this. 1, 2. Or 1E enda, 2E enda. Okay, so maybe that makes sense, maybe it doesn't. Let's do an example. Let's do a challenge. So let's shade this part. Okay, and I'm going to make some separations here because now it's getting a little bit harder to see where it lines up. And let's add a beat here because we've already had that one multiple times. And let's add a beat here. Okay, so what we have is we have a hit on this note, this part of the space, which is, if we're counting the Kodali method, tika of the first tika of the tika tika, which is very confusing because you obviously have 4 notes here. So I would just count 1, E, and A. Okay. And then we have beat 3, which we've always had throughout this explanation. And then we have beat 4, which we had in the original, but not in the second one, okay? So this would be 3, E, and 4, E, and A, okay? So let's try to tap this out. We're gonna slow down the tempo just so you can see what's happening here. I'm tapping the speed of these spaces, and I'm snapping the 4 original beats. Ka, ti, ti, ka, ti, ti. Okay, so I'm not being very precise because these squares are very small to point out, but I hope you understand how that works. And these notes again, so if we only had this part, it would be beats 1 and 2, right? So we would have 1 E enda, 2 E enda. And this is 1 E enda, 2 E enda. Then you have the line, next measure, okay? These are quarter notes, okay? And you have 4 in one measure, then you have eighth notes. That's what it looks like alone. And the pair of them looks like this. So the pair would be here, right? That's a pair like this. And then these are 16th notes. By itself looks like this with 2 flags. And in a group, it looks like this. Like that, okay? And here it would look like this. So now triplets. We're gonna start with the same thing, okay? We're gonna start with a space divided into 4. So we have beats 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? These are quarter notes again. And the quarter notes can be divided into the 16th notes, which you know can be divided into 16th notes and 8th notes like this. But now, instead of making each beat 2 beats, so halving each beat, we are going to cut it into 3 pieces. Now what we've done is we've taken our 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, our space, our original piece of space here. We've divided it into 4, which is our quarter notes. But then we're actually thinking about dividing each quarter note or each piece of space into 3. You have this massive space. You have space for 4 pizzas, okay? These are 4 pizzas. You're pretty hungry, so you're gonna cut each pizza just in half, okay? That's what we did here. And then you cut each pizza into 4 pieces, okay? Make sense? So this is, the example is a whole pizza, this is half pizza, and this is cut into fours, okay? Quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, okay? Then what happens? Same deal, okay? This is your space. You have 4 pizzas in your space, and you decide to cut your pizzas into triplets, okay? So here we have a pizza, and for some reason we decide to cut it into 3 pieces. I'm just being wild and adventurous. Right here you have triplets. So you have, this is your space, okay? This is the space we're looking at, and look, you have a little 3 that tells you it's a triplet, and you have 3 notes. It's like your 1 pizza cut into 3 pieces, your second pizza cut into 3 pieces, third pizza cut into 3 pieces, fourth pizza cut into 3 pieces. Okay, make sense? Those are the pizzas cut into 3 pieces. So same thing here, pizza cut into 3, pizza cut into 3, pizza cut into 3, pizza cut into 3. I suggest you count using triplet, 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 triplet. Some people say chocolate, 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 chocolate. Other people say blueberry, blueberry. It doesn't matter, whatever. Just choose something that works for you. I just do triplet, but be careful with the phrasing of how you say triplet, 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 okay? Don't say triplet, triplet, because that's something completely different. You need the 3 syllables, okay? Triplet. If we shade in, for example, this part, and we shade in this part, and let's shade in this part, this part, and this part. I'm going to snap 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I'm going to tap the triplets. Okay, and then I'm going to sing. I'm just going to say trip, trip, let triple, let triple, let triple, let triple, let triple, let triple, let trip. Okay, so that was just the ride cymbal pattern. So da, 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 da. Ride cymbal pattern, I'm talking about like the jazz swing ride cymbal pattern. For people who are here that don't play drums. Pizza, 3 pieces. Each beat is a pizza. Think of it that way, okay? Then, basically, you go back to real sheet music, and you can just count. You can count da do do da do do da do do da do do. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's it. That's how you count triplets. The next part of this will be some exercises, some sight reading exercises, so you can practice reading rhythms and clapping along, because that's super important, and that will help you a lot. That will actually be the thing that helps you understand rhythm. But I think this is super helpful, and I think it's gonna help you understand. So think about this, grab some sheet music and just count along and try to clap, okay? And we'll see you next week for some clapping exercises. Any questions, put them in the comments.